Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Since late July, Justin Verlander has found the consistency he's been searching for all season long. In his last 4 starts, an ERA of 2.17 with 25 strikeouts and only 3 walks in that span. Verlander will take the mound tonight at Minute Maid Park. It is Game 2 in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in the series. Well, JV has been in a pretty good stretch here, Rod. We'll see if he can continue that here tonight.
Well, he's been throwing the ball a lot better. That much is for sure. The fastball's gotten up to 95 miles an hour. He's kind of learned how to mix in the breaking balls, whether it be the slider, the changeup, and the curveball. And he's done well his last few outings, just no run support.
All right, now Justin, as we know, has lost a little bit off the fastball. He's had to make some adjustments, and here in Texas resides one of the greatest all-time power pitchers in Nolan Ryan, and he offers some advice on how power pitchers can extend their careers.
You have to make adjustments. As we all know, the league makes adjustments to you, and then what adjustments do you make? And, you know, with me, I had to be more dependent on my changeup and command it better than I did early in my career, because I didn't have put the same emphasis on it as I did later, and then throw my breaking ball for a higher percentage of strikes. And so those are the kind of adjustments that you have to make, and the league tells you when you need to do that.
This much we do know about Justin Verlander. He will be able to make those adjustments because he does still have the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. He still has the other secondary pitches. He just needs to how to figure it out to keep guys out of scoring position and then get himself some easier outs.
All right, now one of the guys he'll have to deal with tonight is Carlos Correa. He has had an awfully good start to his big league career. This kid's legit.
No doubt about that. I talked to Trey Hillman yesterday. He's the bench coach for the Houston Astros. He also managed Derek Jeter. He said this guy is a legitimate 5-tool player. He has a chance to be an absolute star. He's got power to all fields. He has the uncanny ability to drive the ball the opposite way for a very young player. I saw Alex Rodriguez playing in A-ball when he was 19 years old, and this guy looks just like Alex Rodriguez. So when you get compared to guys like Alex Rodriguez, you get compared to guys like Derek Jeter, it's going to be a special career for Correa.
All right, Game 2 in the series coming up. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios, check in with Johnny Kane. Correa's not the only guy the Tigers will have to try and stop tonight. How about Jose Altuve? 2 more hits last night. Tigers, Astros, Game 2 in the series coming up next. Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Chrysler, enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. And by Spartan Stores for locations, visit turntospartan.com. Tigers, Astros, Game 2, starting lineups, first pitch coming up next. The Astros, and here is the Tigers starting lineup. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for the Tigers tonight, they'll be in Kinsler leading it off at second base. Kinsler second in the major leagues with 42 hits since the break. Iglesias and Cabrera have the top 3 spots. Victor Martinez playing first base in this game. JD in right, Collins in left, and a bottom 3 of Castellanos, McCann, and Anthony Ghosts, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Colin McHugh.
McHugh's having himself a really good year. As a matter of fact, if you go back to half of last year, he's won 20 ball games, which is a pretty good number. 4.22 ERA. He sports a fastball that gets up to 94 miles an hour. He's got a slider, cutter, curveball, and a changeup, and the league is hitting just .273 against Colin. Let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting defense. Is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Right to left, they've got Rasmus, Gomez, and Tucker. Valbuena, he's over at first base. 8th career start at first base. 0 before this year. Lowry, Correa, Altuve round out the infield, and Castro is the starting catcher this evening.
The Astros won last night in Game 1 of the series. The Angels lost their game last night, so Houston's lead now is 2.5 up on the Los Angeles Angels. Texas still lurking around. They are 5 back. That's how the American League West is shaping up, entering play here. And we remind you to stay tuned after Tigers Live following the game, where Tigers Live will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. And hopefully we'll have several to choose from here tonight. Well, it was a big night here in Houston. They celebrated the 2005 National League Championship team here.
And Biggio, Bagwell, the manager Phil Garner, of course, Brad Ausmus was the starting catcher on that team. And it's always nice when you get a chance to get back together and celebrate with some guys that you played with. And not only played with, but you won a championship with.
Yeah, that Astros team was quite a ball club. They started the year 15-30 and wound it up in the World Series.
Really the last time that the Astros had a team up until this date, August 15th, with as many wins as this current Astros team has. You got to go back to 2005.
So we're ready for baseball here tonight. Colin McHugh is on the hill. Ian Kinsler is in the batter's box. And here we go. The first pitch is ripped foul down the left field line, 0-1.
Yeah, Ian Kinsler not bashful, jumping on that first pitch fastball up in the strike zone at 90 miles an hour, thrown by McHugh.
Kinsler batting an even 300, 6 homers. He's knocked in 52. He'll be followed by Iglesias and Cabrera. Miggy the DH tonight for the Tigers. That is popped up He'll get back out of play. 0-2 now on Kinsler. Tigers fell in the opener last night. They had an early 1-0 lead, but in the end would drop the first game in the series. Kinsler waits on the 0-2. And he looks at a ball outside. Colin McHugh is 28 years old, a native of Naperville, Illinois. 6'2", 189. He's won 7 of his last 10 starts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It'll get away from the catcher. And Castro will throw to first for the strikeout. One gone. It'll bring up Jose Iglesias. Iglesias had a double in the ball game last night. Was 1 for 3. Tigers found it rough sledding against Dallas Keuchel last night. They had him on the ropes a couple of times early, but could not break through. Iglesias looks at a high strike, 0-1.
And Dallas Keuchel, outstanding left-handed pitcher. He's got a fastball that moves all over the place. Nice breaking ball. Really good changeup. Kind of baffled the Tigers in last night's game.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That last pitch at 87 is a cutter that McHugh has fell in love with this year, and it really hasn't been a very good pitch for him overall. But that last one that he threw there to Iglesias had a lot of late life on it. As a matter of fact, it looked like a slider.
1-1 pitch hammered in the air. The center fielder Gomez plays it off to his side. 2 gone.
McHugh must really like his fastball. He has come out throwing quite a few fastballs to the first 2 hitters. That will be Iglesias and Kinsler. And we'll see how he attacks the big fella.
And that would be Miguel Cabrera, who stands in as the DH tonight. Miggy, in his return to the lineup last night, was 0 for 3. He did have a walk. Average at 346. Brad had to think long and hard about playing Victor Martinez at first base. He was convinced by a couple of the Tigers coaches that Victor could do it. And this way, Cabrera is off his feet and still is getting some at bats to help get his timing back.
I think it's going to be good for Victor, because Victor really has struggled the last month, and to get him out in the field and get him moving around so he's not thinking about his at-bats while he's sitting in that dugout, I think it might bode well for Victor tonight.
Miggy shoots one to right field, a base hit.
Welcome back, Miggy.
A single the opposite way. Cabrera's first hits in the series. That'll bring up Martinez.
Outstanding swing, real good balance by Miguel, not trying to do too much, just whistled that ball the opposite way. The second baseman Altuve was shedding him up the middle, and that is just a perfect swing by Miguel.
So Martinez at 244 strolls in. Victor had the RBI last night for the Tigers. He knocked in a run in the 4th inning, and that would be it for Detroit against Keuchel and their bullpen as well. They're playing behind Cabrera at first base, knowing that there is probably zero chance that Miggy will be looking to run here. One thing we have noticed here at the earlier start, more shadows, more sunlight on the field right now. A little bit tougher to pick up the baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera at first with 2 outs just underway here in the 1st inning in Houston. And Martinez watches it sail outside. 2-1.
Miggy just messes with everybody down at first base, and now Valbuena's messing with Miguel, getting a little bit of his own treatment down there. Try to pull his britches down.
Yeah, he did. He was going at it last night with Altuve. And it's in there, a strike call.
That's a good cutter there thrown by McHugh. That ball started off the plate, and the natural cutting action landed right in the glove softly of the catcher Castro.
Martinez just 3 out of 15 on this road trip for the Tigers.
He's been struggling lately. Last 100 at bats, he's been struggling. So about a month now, Victor's been scuffling with the bat.
Flared in the air to shallow left center field, and it's going to be caught on the run by Preston Tucker. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Taking the mound for the Tigers, and he is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Justin Verlander actually has thrown the baseball pretty well in 3 of his last 4 outings. In his last outing against the Boston Red Sox, really no run support for Justin. And he pitched a pretty good game. Overall, he checks in 1-5 with a 4.57 ERA.
Houston's starting lineup tonight presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Jose Altuve leading it off for the Astros, followed by Tucker and Correa. Lowry is playing third base, cleaning up, and Gomez and Rasmus in the lineup tonight. Evan Gattis had his 9th triple last night. He's DHing. Valbuena and Castro will follow to round out the Houston starting 9. So here's Altuve. And mission number 1 for Verlander tonight is to keep this guy off the bases.
Yeah, this much we do know. If Justin Verlander throws him a fastball over the plate, he's going to be hacking.
Altuve grounds it foul as he goes down the third base line.
He gets out of bed swinging.
Doesn't take too many pitches.
He is one of the best second basemen in the game. There's really nothing that he can't do. He's got 9 homers this year. He steals bases. He plays well defensively. He gets tons of hits as well.
2 out of 4 last night, had an RBI. He also stole a base. His 31st of the year for the Astros. Verlander missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since 2012, Altuve has had 701 hits.
Some pretty good players on that list too.
Yeah, that is the most in that time frame. More than Miggy.
And Trout.
There's a base hit to left. He's got himself another one. Leadoff single for Altuve.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It is presented by Beaumont Health. In right field, you have Martinez. Center field, Ghost. Left field, Collins getting the start out there tonight. Rajay last night. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Martinez, James McCann. He is the catcher tonight. Solid single by Altuve, and even the fleet-footed shortstop, Jose Iglesias, couldn't knock it down.
Here is Preston Tucker batting in the 2 slot again tonight.
And if Verlander has a pretty quick move, he needs to make sure he keeps Altuve close enough to give McCann a chance to throw him out.
Altuve 31 steals. He's been caught 11 times. Tucker meanwhile batting .255 with 11 homers. He provides an element of power in the top of their lineup. Of course, there's an element of power everywhere in their lineup. They lead the league in homers. Oh, they got it picked off. Altuve couldn't even move back to the bag. Wow.
Altuve took his eye off of Verlander. He must have looked down at the dirt or something. He didn't even see the ball coming to first base.
Try to remember the last time I saw a runner just absolutely frozen. Break there for the Tigers. One gone. Here's the 1-0 to Tucker. Here's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tucker last night was 0 for 4. Slap that one back out of play.
And Tigers played the shift on Tucker. Iglesias is the lone member of the infield on the left side. Everybody else is on the other side of the infield. Victor, Kinsler, and Castellanos.
Tucker had a couple of home runs in that series earlier at Comerica Park between these two teams. He swings and misses.
Nice breaking ball thrown by Verlander. Fastballs up, breaking balls down. That's a nice recipe for success, especially going up against a team that is absolutely lethal in this particular ballpark. Houston has won 15 of their last 17 games here. And you can see a couple of fastballs up, and then he buries the breaking ball.
So with 2 outs here is Carlos Correa. Correa batting .281, did not get a chance to hit his first couple of bats last night because Alfredo Simon was pretty much pitching around him. Batting .281, he walked 3 times last night. And he looks at a strike 0-1.
I was watching him take some batting practice today, and he's got a really quiet approach. His hands are quiet. The hands and the head stay still. And when you add in his skill set, you get a really good performer.
Correa seemingly has not needed any time at all to get adjusted to the big leagues.
20 years old, batting 3rd for the first place Astros.
Here is Verlander's 1-1. Outside 2-1. There was some thought because Correa, who stands right now 6'4" when he was drafted, might outgrow that position at short, but I don't think that's going to be the case anytime soon. They list him at 6'4", 211. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 on Correa.
We were talking about Verlander and the fact that he's got a really good pickoff move since he came to the big leagues for good in 2006. He has picked off 26. Only 2 right-handed pitchers have been better than Justin.
Swing and a miss. Correa chasing the high heat. 94 on the gun there from Verlander.
Yeah, those other 2 pitchers, James Shields of the Padres and A.J. Burnett, who is currently on the disabled list for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Altuve singled and then was picked off. Correa waiting on a 3-2. And he takes ball 4. That is his 4th walk already in the series. 2-out base runner for Jed Lowry.
Hey, Verlander went with the slider on the 3-2 pitch, but he missed outside with it. McCann tried to pull it back, but could not get the call from the home plate umpire tonight, Bill Miller.
Crew chief Bill Miller.
Crew chief Dan Bill Miller.
He's the big cheese. So with 2 outs, Lowry steps in. Had their biggest hit last night. It was a 2-run double. 273 for Lowry. He'll slap that one back out of play on 1. Lowry was on the disabled list earlier this year with torn ligaments in his thumb. The Astros, since his return, are 14-7. Batting in the cleanup slot. Correa down at first base, 10 stolen bases. And he's been caught only twice. He'll draw another throw. He was spinning his wheels trying to get back in there.
Yes, it looked like he lost his footing there momentarily. He's going to go out there and manicure the dirt a little bit. That right foot slipped right underneath him. Whoa. That was more like a fall than a dive.
Yeah. And he just got back in there. Here's the 0-1. 1-1 on Jed Lowry. Lowry this year has struck out 20 times, but he's walked 18 times, so nearly as many walks as strikeouts.
He gives you a quality at bat. He sees a lot of pitches. Very seldom does he leave the strike zone. And that's probably the main reason why he's batting in the cleanup spot, because they got a lot of guys on their team that strike out a lot and do not do the job with runners in scoring position. They hit a lot of homers, but when there's runners in scoring position, their batting average is only about 240 as a club.
Typically, there are 3 outcomes for the Astros: a walk, a strikeout, or a homer.
Yeah.
Here are Lowry's numbers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Correa, the runner at first, with 2 outs. We're in the first inning. Lowry fouls away another. Tigers last night with the loss fell 5 under the 500 mark, and that's been a mark that they have really struggled to get back to.
The one thing the Tigers have really struggled with all year long, and that's putting together any extended winning streaks. They just really have not been able to, rattle off 7 in a row or 8 of 10.
Ripped right at first, and Victor Martinez goes down to smother it. Nice play.
Look what I found.
No runs, a hit, a walk, and 1 man left. JD Martinez will get things started here in the second. Here are the numbers he had as a member of the Houston Astros, and well, with Detroit, obviously they're a whole lot better. And JD swings and misses to start things off here in the second.
Yeah, JD feeling awfully comfortable these days. The last couple of years, Brett Ausmus has basically written him in that lineup every single day, regardless of how he performed the night before. And he didn't get that kind of treatment when he was in Houston.
30 home runs for Martinez. To be fair, the production here has warranted that, I think, for JD. Even when he was struggling, Brad stayed with him in the middle part of the season, and then eventually he busted out of that slump. The 0-2 is a check swing roller back up the middle. Altuve charging, and a quick throw is in time.
If you weren't with us last night, the only team that shifts more than the Houston Astros in baseball is the Tampa Bay Rays. And so they shift on just about every single hitter the Tigers will send to the plate tonight.
That was one instance in which the shift worked exactly as they wanted it to.
And there's the percentages on shifts this year. 33% for the Astros.
And by shifting, teams are just simply playing the percentages. As Collins stands in. Tyler out in left field in this ball game tonight. I guess it sticks out when somebody beats the shift. They say, "Whoa, look, it didn't work."
Right.
But that's going to happen every now and then. Swing and a miss.
But the Astros are committed, and I've heard them say that the overwhelming majority of the time that you do shift, that hitter does hit into the shift versus the few times that the opposition is able to beat the shift. Now, there's certain guys I just don't get the shift. Guys like Miggy, guys like Victor, I don't understand it.
Yeah, because they use all parts of the field. And here's a base hit just out of the reach of Altuve. Collins aboard with a single. Second hit of the ball game for the Tigers. That'll bring up Castellanos. Nick was 1 for 4 last night. Castellanos 51 RBIs this season for the Tigers. And Collins draws the throw.
Before it's all said and done, Castellanos is going to be a guy that hits 20 home runs a year and drives in 70, 80 runs a year.
I know Nick does not have the best range, and the metrics indicate that he is below average defensively. But I will say this: the last month and a half, everything hit his way, even semi-difficult plays. It might be short hops or deep behind the bag. He has made every single one of them.
Right.
So there is work that is going into it by Castellanos. I mean, he doesn't just show up at the ballpark every day. He is working hard every single day.
Yeah, Matt Martin, also Omar Vizquel. Yeah, both of those guys work with the infielders, and they have worked long and hard with Castellanos.
No balls, 1 strike on Nick. McHugh missing high. 1-1. McHugh has won 7 of his last 10 starts, allowing 3 runs or fewer in 9 of those starts. He's combined with Dallas Keuchel to win quite a few ball games this year on this Houston staff. In fact, no duo has won more. Here are some of the numbers in the last 10 for McHugh. Keuchel and McHugh are 27 and 12 combined. There's a bouncer foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Castellanos. Really is an interesting team they have here in Houston this year, and it works for them. And we've talked about the fact they've got a lot of guys that can hit double-digit homers. They strike out a ton, though, and you would think that in the end, teams that strike out a lot, especially in the postseason, well, that's going to be a disadvantage.
That's a great point, because when you get to the postseason, you're going to run into a really good pitching staff, and that's why the other team has gotten to the postseason.
But they've had some staying power this year. And they started off very well, and they're still in first place.
They also catch the baseball very well. And they lead the American League in ERA. Their bullpen is pretty good. They do a lot of things well, and they really play well here in this ballpark. No team in the American League has more wins than the Houston Astros at home.
Yeah, they are 39 and 18. Best winning percentage. Runner goes, and it's fouled off.
I like that. We have not seen many Tigers put on the move lately. Good aggressive. A sign there and Brett Austin is giving the green light to Collins. And you're also anticipating that McHugh will throw a breaking ball. A lot of the Tigers' data tells them that he will throw a curveball in this particular situation. Therefore, if you're Collins, even though you don't have blazing speed, the curveball gives you a chance to make it safely down to second.
Bouncer slowly back up the middle. Correa to second one of the relay. Not in time. Castellanos beat it out. Looked like a little cue shot that hooked a little bit to the shortstop Correa. Wasn't hit that hard.
I'm going to take one look at that, but I'm thinking Correa probably should have taken this himself.
Agreed.
I mean, he's right there. He's got all his momentum going toward the bag. Had he just gone there, touched it, and then threw the ball to first base, he's got a stronger arm than Altuve. And his momentum would have been carrying him across the bag as it was for Altuve. He was crossing the bag, which meant he couldn't get anything on his throw, thus, and Castellanos was able to beat it.
And it keeps the inning going now for McCann. One for 4 in last night's game. McCann just 2 out of 12 on the road trip. Ball 1 to the Tiger catcher.
Really the last 5 games, starting with that final game at home against Boston and 3 games in Kansas City, and last night, the Tigers as a team are batting under 200. So collectively, up and down the lineup, a lot of guys have been struggling with the exception of Ian Kinsler.
198 on the road trip. That is it. Drilled foul. And really, had they not put that comeback together in the last 2 innings against one of the most vaunted bullpens in the game, Kansas City, they could be winless on this trip.
Right. Well, we knew when we left Comerica Park on Sunday it was going to be a very difficult road trip because the Kansas City Royals, one of the best teams in baseball. This team, they play very well at home, and then they have to go to Chicago. And the Cubs are a pretty good baseball team.
Swing and a miss. Hughes spun one up there, and they count now 1-2.
And in the past, that would be no issue whatsoever for the Tigers to roll into Kansas City, come to Houston, and then roll into Chicago and still kind of do their business. But this is a different kind of year this year for Detroit.
Yeah, it would have been no issues at all in the past. One and two. Bouncer back up the middle. Correa flipping to Altuve for the 4th inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. On our way to the bottom of the 2nd in Houston. Against the other team tonight. Verlander against this current roster for the Astros. They're only hitting a .54 against him.
He's handcuffed him pretty good to the tune of 8 for 52 with just 5 extra base hits. And he's punched out 24 of the 52.
He'll face Carlos Gomez, Colby Rasmus, and Evan Gattis here in the bottom of the second. Justin gave up a single and a walk, but helped himself out by picking off Altuve at the first inning. Verlander goes to work. And he throws a strike to Carlos Gomez.
Gomez has a lot of power. And Anthony Gose in center field is playing very shallow, as is J.D. Martinez in right field.
However, since being acquired by the Astros, only .216. He has not really been able to provide a whole lot since the trade deadline. Showing bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was a couple of years ago here in this ballpark in 2013 that Justin Verlander brought a no-hitter into the 7th inning against the Astros. And Carlos Pena broke it up with a single. So he has dominated in this ballpark. There's a strike call.
And Jim Leland probably was the happiest man in the ballpark that day because Verlander's pitch count was already up to about 100 that day.
Yeah, you never really want to see a guy lose a no-hitter, but when you're faced with making a tough decision, sometimes works out for the best. The 1-2. Popped him up. Right side of the infield. Here comes Victor Martinez. Staring into that roof. 1 gone.
I like the way that Justin has started to use his fastball. 92 to 93, but he's throwing a lot of fastballs at the top of the strike zone these days, and he's gotten himself a lot of pop-ups as a result of that.
2-0 with a .205 career against Houston. Whip of under 1. Colby Rasmus did not play last night. He's back in there tonight. Gives them another left-handed bat against the righty Verlander. Strike called from JV. Rasmus did play in the 4-game series back at Comerica in May, and the Tigers handled him well. 1 for 12 in that series. He has power. Here's the 0-1.
Colby Rasmus, former #1 draft choice of the St. Louis Cardinals. In the last couple of years playing in Toronto. He was a free agent in the offseason, but really had no takers. Ended up signing a 1-year contract with Houston. He picked the right spot to come play for 1 year.
Tigers shifting mid at bat as they move over to the right side, and Rasmus takes high and away.
Yeah, Rasmus, as we've well documented when we've seen Toronto in the past, he's one of those left-handers that kind of holds his hands away from his body. And he rests his hands very comfortable right over home plate, which makes it very inviting for guys like Verlander that have mid-90s fastballs to throw the ball right at his hands inside.
Lifted in the air. Shallow left field. Castellanos, tough play. Oh, what a play by Nick. Running out there to short left, back to the infield. Nicely done. 2 gone.
Here's what I'm talking about with Rasmus in his hands. He holds the hands right over home plate. So if you're McCann, you call for the fastball inside. Verlander's able to execute the pitch perfectly, and he tied him up. Look at the hands. He can't get to that fastball because of where the hand started. And Castellanos makes a nice play.
Well, here is Evan Gattis. Gattis takes ball 1 high. Well, he tripled again in last night's ball game. He shot one to the gap in right center field, his 9th triple of the year.
2 of the 9 have come against Detroit this year.
Here's the 1-0. Big swing there by Gattis.
He's got 9 triples by himself, and the rest of their squad combined only have 5.
Nice. Gaddis, by the way, coming into this season in his career, 1 triple. It's been an anomaly this year for whatever reason. Kevin Kiermaier of the Rays leads the American League with 11 triples.
He can fly, though.
2-1.
Nine this season, and as you mentioned, in all of 2013 and 14, just 1 triple and 783 plate appearances for Gaddis.
Now the big swing and a miss, and Verlander now has even the count 2-2.
Verlander's only gotten up to about 93 with the heater so far this evening, but he's been able to throw it right by some of these over-aggressive swinging Astros.
Here's the 2-2. Popped up third base side. Who wants it? McCann. Castellanos nearly a collision. McCann hauls it in to retire the side. In the second, no runs, no hits, nobody left. Tigers baseball tonight from Houston, presented by Bell Tire. As we go to the third, time now for you to tweet your photo, your strongest fan photo, using hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. So Colin McHugh goes back to the hill now, facing number 9 hitter Anthony Gose for the Tigers. Gose, Kinsler, Iglesias. First one is stroked in the air to center. On the move is Gomez, still going back to right down. Gose had his sights set on a triple, perhaps, if he hit it over his head.
Well, we talked about the Houston Astros and the fact that they do pitch and they play very well here, but they also defend. And when they acquired Gomez at the trade deadline, they got themselves a tremendous center fielder. Great jump by Carlos.
I love when outfielders make a play like that. The first thing they do, they look up at the big video board. To watch themselves.
Yes, they do.
Here's Kinsler. Ian struck out in the first. He skies this one in the air to right field. That'll be routine for Rasmus. So 2 very quick outs here in the third for McHugh. Hey, this Thursday, the Tigers host the Texas Rangers at Comerica Park. 7:08 p.m. start. The first 10,000 fans 18 and older receive a free 2015 Tigers All-Star poster. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Ball one rides inside to Iglesias. Fly out to center his first time up. Iglesias 4 for 10 this year against Astros pitching. He'll shoot that one to left field, and it's going to drop right in front of Tucker. 2-out single. Tigers had 3 hits, all singles. That'll extend the inning for Miguel Cabrera. Miggy had a single the opposite way, shot it right through the right side of the infield in the first. The good news is, after the game last night, Cabrera said he felt no problems at all. The leg felt, the calf, I should say, felt great. And therefore, Brad put him in the lineup again tonight, although as the DH. He'll spin one in there for a strike, 0-1. July the 3rd is when Cabrera came out of the lineup. It was a game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Running from first to second, he pulled up lame with the calf strain. And really, before that injury, Rod, I had no idea that calf strains took that long. But I've talked to several people since, and they said, oh, yeah, and it's very painful, too.
Yeah, Miggy, we could tell that he was in a lot of pain when he took off from first base that afternoon and pulled up lame before he got to second. Immediately called for the trainer, Kevin Rand.
Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes.
One curve ball at 73 miles an hour. Then he follows that up with a real nice slider buried down at the bottom of the strike zone.
McHugh had an 11-game winning streak from August of last year through May of this year. He'll chase Iglesias back.
Miggy is so gifted and so talented and such a great hitter that fastballs are no problem for him to hit right now. But because he has been out for a number of games, it might be a little bit of an adjustment for him to start to see some breaking balls. He has not seen a lot of breaking pitches since July 3rd, as we mentioned.
That one came up and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cabrera had the option of going down to the minor leagues and serving a game or 2 rehab to see how it felt. And I guess Miggy's thought was, well, if I get hurt down there, up here, what's the difference? I might as well give it a shot up here.
Right.
Here's the 1-2. High, 2-2.
And the problem with McHugh in this particular situation, he's already showed Miguel the curveball. He's already showed Miguel the slider. If he tries to get back to those pitches to strike Miggy out. Here comes that curveball.
Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. 2 in the inning. No runs, 1 hit. McHugh, a big strikeout of Miguel. Go to the bottom of the 3rd.
clubhouse takes on, well, sort of a different feel. It was George Springer who instituted the idea of making it Club Astro, complete with strobe lights and water guns and disco music, disco balls. It's all part of the feel. Fog machine is part of it as well, so there's smoke billowing around the clubhouse. That's only after it wins. Springer was asked if he'd ever heard of Studio 54, the legendary disco club in New York. No. Should I? Should I, he said. It's all part of something very special going on here in Houston, but Mario and Rod are quite familiar with the disco era.
Well, yeah, you just described Rod Allen's house, actually, with the fog machine.
The man cave? Yeah.
Hey, John, you know a little something about Studio 54, don't you?
I know of it. I've not been there.
Okay.
But I can hum Staying Alive with the best of them.
I'm sure you can. Well, that's probably quite an atmosphere in the Astros clubhouse. You'll see ball clubs, I think, do different kind of things throughout the course of the year, Rod, to help them get through 162 games.
Well, this much we do know. They're partying a whole lot in that clubhouse because they're winning a lot of games.
They are indeed. Luis Valbuena leading it off as we play here in the bottom of the third.
Was it the Minnesota Twins that do the same thing after wins in Minnesota?
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on in their clubhouse.
Yeah, Torrey Hunter's got them going over there.
Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Valbuena.
That's a good miss right there by Verlander. It's a slider at 84, but he buried it down in an area where Valbuena could do nothing with it. And Valbuena's got some sock in that bat. He has 21 homers this year, a career high already.
How many teams have a guy with 21 home runs batting 8th in their lineup? Probably not too many, but Valbuena is batting only .211. 21 home runs. Veteran to the Cubs, Cleveland, Seattle as well. Valbuena has been around last couple of years with Chicago. The Cubs, that is. Here's the 1-2. Even the count now, 2-2 on Valbuena.
The Houston Astros already have 8 members on their squad that have 10 or more homers. And they're going to have 10 before the season is over with. In 2004, the Tigers, they set a major league record with 11 guys with 10 or more homers. What was that, a good offensive team in 2004? I think Granderson and Pudge.
Got him, strike 3, froze him, and Verlander walks off the mound with a strikeout.
It's a curveball there thrown by Verlander. Nice result. The ball on the inside part of the plate froze Valbuena.
Second strikeout for Justin.
Who else is on that 2004 team?
Inge was on that team.
And Dimitri. A lot of guys.
Meat hook, man.
Yeah.
Of course, the Tigers really had, aside from that 04 team, they had some teams that could mash, man. That 06 team.
They could hit.
Maglio won a batting title.
Yeah.
Castro at 214, 10 home runs. Had a double in last night's ball game, was 1 for 3. Strike called to the outer edge, 0-2, and Castro didn't like it.
Yeah, Verlander doing a very nice job of filling up that strike zone with a lot of quality pitches. 7 of 9 in first pitch strikes already today for Verlander.
He has allowed just 1 hit so far, and that was Altuve back in the first. He let it off with a single, but then Justin promptly picked him off. The only other base runner so far, a walk to Correa in the first. Justin ready with the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Castro punched out of there, and he has a brief chat with Bill Miller. Time for a game break now. We check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks very much. Well, the Yankees going into Toronto with A little bit of authority there.
What a difference a couple of days make. In last night's game in Toronto, the Yankees were trailing by 3 runs in the 8th inning and came back to win that game. Then they come back to win today, so they go back in first place by a game and a half over Toronto.
That race in the East shaping up to be a good one. Don't count Baltimore out yet. But it figures to be Toronto and New York, based on what we've seen. Altuve stands in there 1 for 1. And now 3 for 5 in the series. JV spins up a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Altuve, not a very big guy. You wouldn't expect that he would hit the ball a long way. But earlier this year, back in the month of May, he hit a home run that went 422 feet.
Really?
And he hit it against a knuckleballer, R.A. Dickey. So it's not like he put a good swing on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and it just took off.
He's got 9 homers this year. He's one of those guys that's going to end up with double digits.
2-1 on Altuve. No score. Bottom of the 3rd here in Houston. That's in the air. Shallow left field. Iglesias going back. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Justin. He has looked good here tonight. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back inside Minute Maid Park, the roof is closed here tonight. Again, another very warm afternoon here in Houston. And by warm, we mean upper 90s. Colin McHugh goes back to the mound as we go to the 4th inning. Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Tyler Collins. Victor hit a fly ball his first time up, 0 for 1. There's a strike called. Bouncing ball right side, straight to the second baseman Altuve. Victor is out, 1 gone. He is 0 for 2 tonight. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez. the second time McHugh has faced the Tigers this year. He allowed 3 runs in 7 innings versus Detroit back in May. A 6-2 loss for the Astros. Tigers split that 4-game series with Houston. 0-1 on JD.
This might be a good situation for JD Martinez just to try to hit something the other way. It's a huge hole on the right side of the infield. They've got 3 members on the left side of the infield. Take that line drive and hit it through that hole.
Shift on. There you see it against Martinez. JD went the other way his first time up. Well, it went as a 4-3 ground out, but pretty much up the middle. Because of the shift, that's way outside. 2-1.
And so far, McHugh has done a very nice job of throwing a lot of fastballs and showing fastballs and simply getting back to that really slow breaking ball that's had a lot of Tigers hitters out in front. A lot of harmless ground balls already hitting this game tonight.
Another breaking ball nubbed foul right at home plate.
They just cannot stay back long enough to barrel it up, at least not yet. Dallas Keuchel also had that really good changeup last night that had the Tigers off balance most of the evening.
Martinez waiting on a 2-2. Full count now, 3-2 with Tyler Collins waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Got him. Strike 3.
JD Martinez got caught looking for a breaking ball with 2 strikes, which is an absolute no-no. And McHugh threw him a fastball right down the middle, and JD Martinez could not pull the bat off his shoulders. And we have well documented on many, many occasions that you just can't do that. Regardless of how many breaking balls you get, you can't sit on one when you have 2 strikes.
Here's Collins with 2 outs. Tyler had a base hit back in the second. And McHugh now at an even 50. Pitch count in good shape. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a pretty big month and a half here for Tyler Collins. These at-bats here I think will show Brad, and at least going forward, if Tyler is a viable option next year at the big league level. These at-bats probably more important than anything he'll be able to do next spring. That's rolled foul.
Or anything that he would have been able to do had he stayed in the minor leagues and been called up in September.
True. The trade of Cespedes gave him an opportunity. He was called up right after that trade on July 31st. Now McHugh with the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Collins. And the 2-2. Outside. Full count. 3-2. Castellanos would be next if Collins were to reach. Swing and a miss to strike him out. 4 strikeouts for Colin McHugh. The Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 4th inning.
on stuff to build upon. You know, I feel like I've gone out and shown, you know, that I can pitch well and pitch well consistently. It's just, you know, obviously what you're looking for is wins. You know, and you know, oftentimes that's out of the starting pitcher's control. You can't think about it too much. I just got to go out there and you know, do my job, keep us in the game, and you know, hopefully we find a way to win.
Well, he's done plenty of that, and when you look at the 2.17 ERA in his last 4 starts, you would expect more than just one win. The Tigers have not been able to support him with enough runs in those games. He's back to work now in the bottom of the 4th. Preston Tucker leads it off for the Astros.
Is it just me, or does it appear that the Tigers are shifting a little bit more against the Astros in this series than they do against most teams?
I think you're right. They've done it a lot in this series.
Yeah, Brad's been moving a lot of guys around, especially against the left-handers.
That's in there, a strike called on Tucker. He struck out in the 1st inning. Preston now is 0 for 5 in this series. All 11 of his home runs this year have come against right-handed pitching. Inside, 2-1. Well, you talk about this during his last start, that now that Price has moved on, you know, JV's kind of elevated himself again back to the top of the rotation. And hopefully he'll get back to pitching like we're used to seeing Verlander pitch. That's popped up. Shallow left center field. Collins coming in.
Yeah, he has to be the guy. Yeah, that when he goes out there, he gives the team a legitimate chance to win every 5th day. He does have all of his pitches working tonight. That was a changeup right there. He got Tucker to pop up on. We've seen a good curveball today. We've seen some fastballs that have been located all over the strike zone. And we've seen some good sliders.
Number 3 hitter Carlos Correa. Bouncing ball foul, 3rd base side.
Take a peek at Correa's hits by direction, and for a young player, he has the ability to go the opposite way with a lot of authority. 19 that way. Circle that a little bit there.
There you go.
Boy, I missed them circles. Boy, I used to have that telestrator when I first got here, 2003. Then they start paying you too much money. You have to get rid of that expensive telestrator.
My contract is a burden, I know that. No balls, 2 strikes on Correa.
I had arrows, I had circles.
You had all kinds of stuff going. There's a base hit to right. How about that? Right on cue.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's a 1-out single for Correa.
It's a breaking ball that he just kind of stays with. We told you the kid has a very quiet approach. He gets the front foot down, the knees ever slightly bent on the balls of his feet. And just a really nice swing by the kid.
Make it 20 to right field now for Correa.
Yep.
Here's Jed Lowry. Sharply hit ground ball his first time up right at Victor Martinez, who threw the glove down and made the play.
That was a bad circle.
Well, how many circles have you drawn in the last week or so? Might have to get you out for extra circle drawing.
You might have to get me out for some early work.
Get here at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Lowry at 270. Couple of RBIs in the series. Takes a ball outside.
Pretty healthy lead by Correa over at first base. Has 10 steals. This year's been caught twice, but Verlander's already picked off 1 here tonight. Verlander has a very quick move, very quick feet when throwing over to first base.
I wonder when a guy, whether it's Verlander or anybody, picks off a runner in the very first inning by such a wide margin, if the rest of the team takes notice and it has an effect. Runner going there, but it's fouled away.
I think it has an effect, but I think the guys like a Correa or Altuve they're kind of picking their spots when they think Verlander's going to throw that breaking ball or that changeup. And they think they can get a good enough jump to where they can steal the base, even though McCann is one of your better throwing catchers in the American League. It's a pick off in the first inning. Altuve got caught looking down. Look at him right there. And Verlander picked. That's why you never take your eye off the pitcher when you're on first base.
Now the 1-1 instead back to the bag, and Correa dives back in there. Martinez playing first base tonight with Maye DHing. Victor holding on against Correa. High fly ball left field, not very deep. Collins in a couple of steps. Lowry's out, 2 gone. I'll bring up Gomez. Last night Gomez struck out and then tried to break his bat over his leg and took 3 shots before he finally did it.
What if he had a bruise on that right thigh today?
I was thinking about the same thing. He had to. I mean, he was hammering his thighs.
He probably would have been embarrassed had he not been able to break it.
That'd have been the worst. I wonder if that's ever happened. I'm sure it has. The guys just can't break it. The real impressive ones are like, Bo Jackson used to, like, I don't know, he would look at the bat and would break it in half.
One take.
Yeah, that's it. And here we go. Here's last night.
1, 2, 3.
And a few choice words as well.
In Spanish, but you can't repeat them.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Gomez. Earlier this year with the Astros, hit his 100th big league career, which now gives him 100 homers and over 200 steals. One of 12 guys that have done that. He's taking all the way, and that missed low and outside. He's almost stepping out of the box on that pitch.
Had to be calling for timeout or something.
Yeah,
usually
because
with 2 strikes, you don't see guys simply put the bat on their shoulders and don't attempt to even track it into the strike zone. Here it is for 2 strikes.
The free pitch there for Verlander, but he missed the strike zone. 1-2. Gomez 9 home runs this year between his 2 ball clubs. He fought that one off foul. Talking last night about the changes that the Astros made, thinking going into the season that to try and just take that next step and become a better ball club than last year. And all of a sudden they get off to the red hot start. They're in the playoff chase at the deadline, and now they're picking up guys like Kazmir and Gomez.
And Jeff Luhnow also hired the right guy in A.J. Hinch. A.J. Hinch was working the last couple of years in the front office with Josh Burns, who's now in Los Angeles, working for the Padres.
.60 now for Verlander. Runner going on 2-2, strike 3 called, and that'll end the inning. Gomez caught looking. He's 0 for 2. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. Verlander throwing a good ball game tonight in Houston.
10-year anniversary of when they went to the World Series. It was as a wild card team. They found their way through Atlanta and the Cardinals, who had an 11-game lead over them when the season ended, but they took care of the Cardinals, went on to face the White Sox, were swept in 4 straight by the White Sox, but the likes of Biggio and Bagwell and Berkman and Oswalt and Engsberg, and of course Brad Ausmus was on that team. Ausmus revealed that he was told by Astros manager A.J. Hinch in spring training that it was going to be when Ausmus was here that they were going to honor the 2005 team, and for Brad Ausmus it was a very touching gesture to make sure he was here with some of the greats that he played with. Mario, right?
Yeah, Keatson Ausmus also, as he was addressing the media before the game today, also reminded people they were 15-30 to start the year, and then he said, man, the media had us, they just had us beaten down and buried. And it was just kidding with the media, of course.
Yeah, Brad played 148 games that year, including postseason.
But I guess it was kind of a way of Brad saying, look, I mean, stranger things have happened. They started off poorly that year and went to the World Series. There's a strike called on James McCann, who's batting here in the 5th. Still no score in this one. 1 out, nobody on. McCann hit into a force to end the inning. That was back in the 2nd.
And the wild card is, well, Bud Selig did a lot of really good things as commissioner of baseball.
Right into the shift, back up the middle, Altuve.
And the wild card is one of them. I mean, really, all you have to do is just get in, and you can get yourself all the way to the. Didn't the Giants last year and the Kansas City Royals, weren't both of them wild cards?
Yeah, they were. Absolutely. Tigers were a wild card in 06 when they went to the World Series. So you're right, get in. And that Kansas City Athletics game last year was just a classic.
It was.
Wild card. So it has certainly improved baseball. Here's Anthony Gose to fly to center field in the 3rd. McHugh, a couple of quick outs here in the 5th inning. Gose hit the ball a ton back in the 3rd to dead center field. That Carlos Gomez made a nice running catch onto the warning track. Two 2-0 on Gose. One of those high strikes that apparently Gose didn't agree with.
Home plate umpire last night, who's down at 3rd base, Adrian Johnson, also called the high strike in last night's game.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Gose. Anthony 9 for 20 against Houston pitching this year. He's had some success. That, of course, came back in May at Comerica Park in that 4-game series. 2-2 is now 3-2 as that one bounces in.
Mario, did you know this? Since August 1st of last year, McHugh has won 20 games, but look at the other guys on the list. Bumgarner, Garrett Cole, Felix Hernandez, and Clayton Kershaw. He's won more games than all of them.
I think most fans would recognize most of those names with the exception of McHugh. I mean, he's kind of relatively pitching anonymously here in Houston.
Agreed. Wasn't even mentioned as far as making an all-star team.
Nope. And he struggled before he came to the Astros. The Astros loved what they saw. They realized he had a high spin rate on his breaking ball. We can get into that a little bit later, but he'll fire one up there that just missed for ball 4. But they saw something in him that they felt could be special. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to, Miller Time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Last thing McHugh wanted to do was walk the number 9 hitter, and now he's got to deal with Kinsler.
And Kinsler, in both of his plate appearances this evening, he has swung at the first pitch. Both have been fastballs. Both have been up in the strike zone.
Gose big lead, draws the throw. 16 steals this year for Gose. He's been caught 8 times. Not a whole lot going on for either team offensively tonight.
If you're A.J. Hinch and you're convinced that Anthony Gose is going to try to steal second base here with 2 outs, you may just want to call for a pitch out.
Well, he started him off without a fastball that time.
That's a good cut fastball thrown by McHugh. 88 miles an hour, a little late life. As a matter of fact, there are some times where you really cannot differentiate whether it's a slider or his cutter. Sometimes it has that much depth, that much movement.
Runner goes. And big jump. No chance for Castro to even throw that ball.
So deliberate was McHugh. And then a breaking ball on top of that. No shot for Castro. Chevrolet brings you the high-strength steel. Anthony Gose picked the absolute right pitch to go on. It's a breaking ball, and Castro, why even throw it?
17 steals now for Gose. Base hit scores him. Castro able to block it. 2-1.
In the last 5 games or so, we told you overall the Tigers team batting average under 200. Kinsler, one of the guys that's been getting it done.
Drilled to left field on the line and caught on a slide by Tucker. Preston Tucker with a sliding play in left robs the Tigers of a run. We'll see if the Tigers want to challenge this.
I think they might want to look at it.
Brad says hold everything. So the Tigers will use a challenge here. Let's see.
This will tell us.
Did he trap it?
He dropped it and picked it up, put it back in the glove.
Yep, he sure did.
He did not catch it.
That's an easy one.
Yes, that should not take long. And you notice how on the big board here, they're not showing it.
No, they're not.
Usually they show the replays on the big board, but they're not showing it right now.
Well, they got the kiss cam going right now.
Yeah, they do. And they got a marriage proposal.
Wow. Brad not really too interested in that. I don't think it's this is pretty obvious right here. It hits off his wrist, and then with his left hand, watch him pick it up right there as he rolls on the baseball. Did a really good job of hiding it. Initially was called out. Now what do they do here once they reverse this, which I assume they're going to? They got to send the runner to third, don't they?
Well, does the runner score?
That's what they'll decide, I assume.
The Gose has good speed. 2 outs. He was going to be on the move.
So he is safe.
Okay, now what? Home.
Yep, he scores.
Yes.
So Kinsler gets a base hit. A 2-on walk by Gose started it. He then stole second and scores on the hit by Kinsler.
And now A.J. Hinch, the manager, having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Bill Miller. No doubt he's trying to convince him and that Gose would not have scored because the ball was hit so hard, but he's not going to win it. You can read the lips of Bill Miller saying that's not my decision. Basically, what came from the command center in New York was that's a base hit and the base runner would have scored. I thought that you could not come out and protest a call.
No, you can't protest a call, but you can ask for clarification.
Well, he's a little adamant. There you go.
Oh, he's been thrown out of the game.
Yep. See it.
I don't think he came out there protesting whether or not that ball was caught or not. What he's probably asking for clarification on is why the runner scored.
I don't even think you could. Well, I guess you're right. You probably can do that.
You can. Brad has said you can do that.
You can do that?
Yeah. But now it's gone beyond that, apparently. And now Hinch going to get his money's worth here. Card even yanked from the game.
I think Bill Miller's saying, look, man, it's not my decision. What do you want me to do?
It's their call, he's saying.
It's the second time that A.J. Hinch has been ejected from a game this season. And the other one was June 20th in the same situation, arguing a replay.
Really?
Yep.
So he's done this twice now, and now he's not going to give up. He's going to the first base umpire, Doug Eddings. And Eddings is saying, look, man, I was as far from that play as anybody.
Well, you might as well get your money's worth.
He'll get an ovation before he leaves, but A.J. Hinch has been thrown out of this game.
Trey Hillman will take over as manager. He is the bench coach for A.J. Hinch. Trey Hillman has some managerial experience with the Kansas City Royals.
Big stolen base by Gose after the 2-out walk. So McHugh walks the number 9 hitter and pays for it. Now Iglesias. See if the Tigers can add on here. Kinsler spun his wheels on the way back. One nothing. Tigers have the lead. That's in for a strike. 1 for 2 for Iglesias, a single and a fly ball. That'll get fouled down the right field line, out of play.
Ian Kinsler continues to rack up some pretty good numbers against the Houston Astros. Of course, he spent 8 years playing second base for the Texas Rangers, and they play every year. The Astros and the Rangers.
That RBI for Kinsler is 53rd. Ian back in there. Tigers now have 1 run on 4 hits. The Astros no runs, 2 hits. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the inning. However, the Tigers scored first. An RBI hit by Kinsler. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
14 in first pitch strikes, and he's thrown a lot of fastballs top of the strike zone and gotten himself some harmless fly balls, and then he's thrown some breaking balls. I mean, some outstanding breaking balls at the bottom of the strike zone. Justin Verlander, well, he's on top of his game tonight.
And he's got himself a slim 1-0 lead now. As Colby Rasmus will lead things off for the Astros. Rasmus, Gaddis, and Valbuena 6, 7, and 8 in their lineup. First one is popped up foul. That'll get back out of play. Verlander tonight with 4 strikeouts after 4 innings.
Verlander continues, because Rasmus holds his hands over the top of the plate, he continues to throw that fastball right at the hands of Rasmus, and Rasmus basically tying himself up, just can't pull his hands through quick enough to get to it. It's the second time tonight he's done that to Colby.
Ball high, 1-1.
Yeah, he overthrew that fastball. A little too quick with the body. The arm lagged, therefore the fastball stayed up.
Rasmus popped up at his first at bat, 0 for 1. High cheese, and he swung through it 1-2.
All fastballs so far thrown to Colby.
Little pop up down the right field line, foul. Rasmus began his career with the Cardinals, first-round pick of the Cardinals, 4 years with Toronto, and then signed as a free agent this past January by the Astros.
And Verlander has thrown Colby Rasmus so many fastballs inside right at his hands. You know, Rasmus now is looking for the fastball inside. It may not be all bad to fade a changeup away, but you got to bury it. And if you do so, you can get a strikeout here.
High fly ball, left field shallow. Collins coming in. He's under it. 1 out.
Menards brings you the big money encounter, and we told you that the first time Evan Gaddis came up, he has 9 triples this year, and 2 have come against Detroit. This one was back in May when Houston made a visit to Comerica Park, and then last night he also tripled in the right center field gap.
Gaddis popped up in his only at bat so far this evening to the catcher McCann. Ball inside, 1-0. Astros this year 158 home runs, which leads the league, but they also lead the league in stolen bases. Two balls, no strikes on Evan Gaddis. Native Texan. Gaddis actually played some travel ball when he was younger with Austin Jackson, the former Tiger, and Clayton Kershaw as well.
Ooh, that was a pretty good squad.
Yeah. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Justin so far in this game allowing just a pair of singles, 1 to Altuve in the first and 1 to Correa in the fourth.
About Evan Gaddis, he is the first player since 1980 to record 9 triples and not have a stolen base.
Strike call. Well, we've called it an anomaly, and it really seems that way.
That's 35 years.
That it is. He is an interesting player. He has 17 homers, 60 RBIs, leads their team in RBIs, but only a .238 average. That'll bounce in. 3-2 now on Gaddis. Valbuena waiting on deck.
Whatever this next pitch is that Verlander throws to Gaddis is the one pitch that they talked about before the game started as how he would get him out in a pressured situation. It's 3-2. He's got a lot of power. And the Tigers hold a slim one-run lead. This next pitch will be the one that they decided on that he can't hit.
It'll get back out of play. Ramped up to 95 on the fastball there. That's the best fastball he's thrown all night.
And because he got up to 95, we're going to sponsor it. Xfinity. And it tells us that that's the best one of the evening. 77 with a curveball. He's thrown several curveballs in that range.
Skies this one in the air. It'll stay in play to the right side. Shallow right field. A trio of Tigers converge, and Martinez makes the play. Couple of fly ball outs, 2 away. Eight flyouts, only 1 ground out for Verlander tonight.
4 strikeouts. He's kind of kept the pitch count in check. He's thrown 73.
Here's Valbuena. Verlander wanted Iglesias to move in a couple of steps. Valbuena fouls it away on 1. Just brings up an interesting thought about these shifts that these teams are playing, and I've asked several managers and coaches about this. You can shift all you want, but your starting pitcher has to be on board with all the shifting that you will do, because ultimately they're the one that will throw the baseball.
And not only on board, but have the ability to execute the pitches to get the batter to hit into the shifts.
Drill to center field. Right there. It's going to drop in front of Ghost. And Valbuena is aboard with 2 outs.
You will not see that very often from Anthony Ghost in center field. He was already playing very shallow. And that ball hit very hard by Valbuena, and it was knuckling all the way until it got out to Anthony Ghost, and he just could not figure out what to do with it. And he actually broke back on it momentarily.
Did you see Valbuena bat flip there?
I didn't see it.
It's a single.
Wow.
It was what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago here, Carlos Corcoran bat flipped a single. And now Valbuena does it. 2 out base runner for Castro. Castro struck out in the 3rd. The Astros have picked up just their 3rd hit of the game against JB.
Verlander is pitching very aggressively inside here this evening to a lot of the left-handed batters. He's gone in there quite frequently, too, to some of the right-handers.
Castro has a little bit of pop. He's hitting only .214, or was coming in, but 10 home runs. And JV again up in the strike zone with a fastball, threw it by him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. They've noticed tonight the Tigers are doing more shifting between pitches than ever before. And that last time, Iglesias was moving a little bit more toward Kinsler before the pitch was thrown.
And he actually moved Kinsler over as he was moving over. And I'm going to agree with you. And this is the first time I've seen the Tigers shift as much in a series as we've seen in the first 2 days here against the Astros.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander comes back with his 5th strikeout of the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left for the Astros. 5 in the books here at Minute Maid Park. 1-0 Detroit.
Cabrera's first time up, he singled sharply the opposite way, and we brought up the point that when you miss as much time as Miggy has missed, fastball's no problem, but it's the breaking balls that you don't have the timing on. And he struck out his second time up on 3 breaking balls, 2 curveballs, 1 slider. We'll see what McHugh does to him here.
So Cabrera followed by Victor Martinez and then J.D. Martinez. Tigers holding on to a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the 6th.
That's why you see a lot of guys when spring training is over, and a lot of guys that aren't necessarily hard throwers, guys that have good breaking balls, they get off to really good starts. Because the hitters don't quite have their timing yet on breaking balls, but they really have good timing on fastballs.
And McHugh dropped one in there for strike 1.
Well, Miguel might not get another fastball for a strike tonight. He might show him the fastball, but ultimately he's going to go back to that pitch until Miggy is able to hit it.
In there for a strike. 0-2. 5 strikeouts tonight for Colin McHugh.
You go 35 games without seeing a breaking ball, you're not necessarily going to be on top of those pitches.
That'll bounce in. McHugh went from being a waiver claim from the Rockies in December of 2013 to a very productive part of their pitching rotation. There's another bender that drops in low and in. 2-2. Cabrera single and a strikeout. Lifted back out of play. Cabrera at the time of the injury was leading the league in hitting and was a good bet to win another batting title the way he was going. But because he's been out, he dropped off obviously in enough plate appearances to qualify. High fly ball right field. Rasmus still coming into foul ground to make the catch. 1 out here in the 6th. Hey, join the Tigers' efforts to strike out bullying on Sunday, August 23rd. Get a ticket to see the Tigers take on the Rangers at 1:08 p.m. and a strikeout bullying T-shirt. You'll get it exclusively at tigers.com/strikeoutbullying. One away for Victor Martinez. Pay attention to the game, please. Not your phone. Martinez 0 for 2. Pulls that one fair. Diving stop, first base side, Valbuena. Nice play.
How about Valbuena? This is only his 8th career start at first base. And before this year, he had no starts at first base, and he robs Victor Martinez of a possible double here. One step and a dive. That's usually the way you play third base, one step and a dive, where Valbuena spends a lot of time.
2 up, 2 down. Now J.D. Martinez 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. J.D. has swung and missed a lot in this series.
It's almost like J.D. may be trying to do a little bit too much against his former team, trying to force the issue instead of just letting the action come to him. And J.D. in one of those stretches right now where in the last 5-6 games he has been swinging and missing quite often. Quite a few strikeouts for J.D. But you know what? He's got 30 home runs, and strikeouts go hand in hand with power hitters.
Hurts for 3 years with the Astros. J.D. originally was a 20th round pick for Houston. Chased that one up in the zone. They count 1-2. Martinez now 0 for 6 in the series. Just a couple of hits on this road trip. Stayed back and was able to get a piece of that to stay alive.
And last time J.D. was up after getting so many breaking balls from McHugh, he was looking for a breaking ball with 2 strikes, and he took a fastball right down the middle for strike 3. And that was back in the 4th inning.
Laid off that high fastball, 2-2. Should Martinez reach, Collins on deck. Tigers got a run in the 5th inning. RBI hit by Kinsler with 2 outs. That one nearly hit him. 3-2. Down the right field line, slicing away. McHugh now at 86 pitches here in the 6th inning. 2 out, nobody on. His one mistake was walking the number 9 hitter, Ghosts, in the 5th inning, who promptly stole second and scored on the hit. Way outside, he lost it. Another 2-out walk. Now here's Collins. Tyler, a single and a strikeout. Ball 1 from McHugh, and that'll bring Castro out there to the mound. As McHugh got a couple of early outs here in the 6th, then a walk to Martinez, and now he's gotten behind Collins. Same 2 teams tomorrow wrapping up this series. Tigers have an off day Monday. It's on to Chicago, Wrigley Field on Tuesday to take on the Cubs. Runner goes, and it's hammered foul back out of play.
Apparently, this is a combination the Tigers feel like they can run on. Ghost has stolen the base, and Kendra was on the move last half inning before the strikeout to end the inning. And now J.D. Martinez on the move, and J.D. does not run.
Castro is at just about 31% in throwing out runners. Strike called on Collins, who did not agree with it. 1-2. Tyler's breakout year in the minor leagues for the Tigers a couple of years ago, and Double-A hit 21 home runs and kind of put himself on the map with that season at Erie.
A few springs ago, I remember having a conversation with Larry Herndon, who was the hitting coach in Lakeland for a number of years, and he said, this one kid, Collins, you're really going to like once he gets to the big leagues. Of course, Tyler really hasn't had a chance to play every day in the big leagues yet. And that's always very difficult for a younger player that really hasn't established himself. You play every day in the minors, then all of a sudden you come to the major leagues and your playing time is very spotty.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the Tigers do in the offseason as they add pieces to their ball club. Obviously, the bullpen and the rotation need to be addressed, but with Cespedes gone now, left field has to be addressed as well. Got him, strike three. Collins knew it. He is out of there on strikes, and nothing comes to the 2-out walk. Here comes the bottom of the sixth.
What adjustments do you make? And, you know, with me, I had to be more dependent on my changeup and command it better than I did early in my career, because I didn't have put the same emphasis on it as I did later. And then throw my breaking ball for a higher percentage of strikes. And so those are the kind of adjustments that you have to make, and the league tells you when you need to do that.
Any thoughts of Nolan Ryan, who, of course, one of the all-time greats, right now in the front office with the Houston Astros, talking about what pitchers need to do as they become a little bit older, power pitchers, making adjustments, using the off-speed pitches more.
Yeah, that's something that Verlander has had to do the last couple of seasons.
Altuve leading it off here in the bottom of the sixth. He loops one in the air toward right field, going to be playable. Martinez hauls it in, one gone.
through 308 starts, here's the comparisons between Verlander and Nolan Ryan. Verlander with more wins. And, of course, look at Ryan. Ryan was kind of wild back in the day, but he also struck out quite a few. The ERAs are somewhat comparable. The old Express.
Ryan Express indeed. A very intimidating character. There's a ground ball foul right off his leg. Preston Tucker, the batter. Tucker is 0 for 2. Now JV with the 0-1 pitch. Way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Correa waiting on deck. Fly ball, strikeout for Tucker. One of my favorite quotes regarding Nolan Ryan was when he was with the Angels. He was 16-14 following the 1979 season. Buzzy Bavasi, the general manager, said he didn't want to resign Ryan, and because he was 16-14, he said all I need to go out is go out there and get 2 pitchers that are 8-7, and I've got him covered.
Yeah.
But the Ryan Express turned out to be much more valuable than 2 8-7 pitchers in his career. A miscalculation by Mr. Bavasi. Here's the 1-2. Ripped right at first baseman Martinez. 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Mickey York. It is Mick, thanks. And didn't we just have Felix Hernandez on a Cy Young graphic yesterday?
We sure did.
We have to move him down a little bit. Correa looks at ball 1 high.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel might just be the leader in the clubhouse right now for that award with his win yesterday.
It just doesn't seem possible that Felix Hernandez could give up 10 earned runs in a start.
He's had a couple of starts here. Didn't he didn't make it out of the first inning 1 start this year?
Right. Yeah, he's had a couple, and obviously this one, which has killed his ERA. There's Keuchel, who helped his ERA last night. 1 run in 7 innings. Inside to Correa.
$11 starts this year for Keuchel, 7 innings or more with 1 or fewer earned runs. And he's perfect in this ballpark, 11-0.
Swing and a miss.
When I look at that, I mean 11 wins here. So that means he's only got 3 on the road. What are the issues on the road for Keuchel, I wonder?
It's a good question. Now, he did suffer that loss against Sonny Gray in Oakland. He pitched well enough to win his last start before last night, but was outdueled by Gray. In there is strike on Correa. 2-2. Boy, has JV been good tonight.
He's been dealing. I mean, pitch of choice might be the slider here to Correa. But if you throw it, you got to bury it. They're going fastball inside.
Now McCann out to the mound.
For the most part, they have been on the same page here this evening. But that time, McCann put down the fastball in. Verlander didn't want that. He put the fastball away. He didn't want that. And then he put down a few fingers. Verlander didn't want to throw that either.
Low and away, 3-2 on Correa. Jed Lowry waiting on deck if he loses Correa. The pitch count up to 90 now for JB. And he will lose him. That's another walk for Correa, his second in this game. 5 walks in the series.
Here's some of the updated numbers for some of the front runners this season for the Cy Young. And Price is on that list. Sonny Gray, of course. Chris Archer, along with Felix and Dallas. Who you got right now if it was to end?
I might be leaning. Man, I don't know. Price is awfully strong. Keuchel's strong. Gray's strong. I don't know. I got to think about this. I'll get back to you on that. Although you couldn't go wrong with several different guys. Here's a quick throw back to the bag. Correa back in there. You got to keep a close eye on him because Correa can run. In a one-run game, don't want to get him to second.
You know that one start we were talking about regarding Felix Hernandez when he did not make it out of the first inning? And guess who it was against?
Houston.
These Houston Astros.
There you go.
They scored 8 runs against Felix and they only got 1 out.
Slice toward left field. Collins coming on to make the catch. He had some trouble with it.
Right in the lights.
Nice play by Tyler. Averting disaster. Still 1-0 Detroit.
Kinsler hit a ball in the left field. Tucker, he tried to smother it and sell the catch. It was initially ruled a catch, but it was overturned in New York, and then Bill Miller gave the call. A.J. Hinch, the manager, came out to not question whether it was caught or not, but to question whether Ghost would have scored or not because the ball was hit rather sharply.
And that is the only run of this ball game. Nick Castellanos leads it off as we go to the 7th. Bottom 3 for the Tigers here against Colin McHugh, who throws ball 1. McHugh has 6 strikeouts.
I don't know if I used the term overturn the call from New York, but that was correct call. Overturn.
1 ball, or make it 2 balls, so no strikes now on Castellanos. Is action now in the bullpen. Fields, the right-hander, is tuning up for the Astros. Bullpen that has been very good this year. Lifted back out of play. Only 7 hits in this game, 4 for the Tigers and 3 for the Astros. Castellanos doctoring up a new bat. Interesting there. He put most of the stickum right at the knob of the bat. He holds that bat right down at the very end. Fouled off the mask of Castro. 2-2. Castro, one of the better receivers in the American League. In fact, he is rated second best at framing pitches.
Astros have a couple of guys, a couple of catchers that are rated very high as far as their framing ability.
Check swing roller back to the mound.
We've seen that several times here today on that really slow breaking ball. Tigers hitters are fooling out front. They got the bat out there, and the bat makes contact with the baseball. And just a lot of harmless ground balls thrown by McHugh. That's another stat that really a lot of people didn't talk about. I don't know, 5-6 years ago, pitchers framing.
Pitch framing, yeah.
And there was a rare guy out there that was, thought of to be very good at it. But now, I mean, it's something that they really pay attention to.
Here is McCann. A couple of ground balls. He is 0 for 2. 0-1 on James. McCann at 278 has all but taken over the everyday catching duties from Alex Avila. And Brad was asked before the game today about that and how difficult it must be, because Alex has been a big part of this organization the last several years. And Brad said, well, it's not like he's not going to play. He will be catching some games, but clearly his playing time has been cut into quite a bit. Especially now with Miggy back and McCann catching most of the ball game. And really, you got to, I guess, tip your cap to James McCann. He came up there, he had an opportunity, and he's kind of seized it.
Yeah, he's kind of ran with it. Avila, the last 4 years, has been the primary catcher for the Tigers as they won 4 American League championships, American League Central championships, I should say.
McCann strikes out. Castro throws him out to complete it. Check in with John Keating.
Victor Martinez told us that Brad Ausmus called him into his office last night and told him that he was going to be at first base today. And Victor Martinez told the assembled media that in Spanish. He speaks English just fine, but for some reason he had Omar Vizquel there working as his translator. And he said if he does well, or if the team wins a game or 2 in a row, that's going to be a continuing trend. So you'll see Omar Vizquel hanging around Victor Martinez, sharing Victor's thoughts with the English-speaking media. I should have taken Spanish in high school. I'm not sure why I did.
You blew it, Keith.
French was a bad idea.
Ghost is out on the bunt attempt, and that'll take care of the Tigers here in the 7th. So McHugh heading to the bottom of the 7th, looking for some offense. The 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. season. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. So here is Justin Verlander going back to the hill in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers fans enjoying what has been a tight one here tonight. Tigers got a run. It's been the only run of the game back in the 5th. JB has done the rest. And he'll miss low to Carlos Gomez, who starts it off. Gomez 0 for 2, strikeout pop-up. Gomez fouls it back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Verlander has given up 3 hits in this game. He only walked a couple as well, so really not too many opportunities tonight for the Astros.
He's had all 4 of his pitches working tonight.
As he gets deeper into the game, the 7th inning and beyond, an ERA 3.68. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gomez. 2-time All-Star Carlos Gomez.
And Justin's had a good fastball. Most of the fastballs all night have been anywhere from 90 to 92, but he has gotten up to 95 a couple different times. Hit a really good curveball today, an occasional changeup, and a lot of sliders to the right-handed batters.
Did he go? No, he did not.
Doug Eddings, first base umpire, says no.
And we have to believe him. 2-2.
And Verlander closing in on 100 pitches, which means the Tigers are going to have to dip into that bullpen here this evening.
Ball high. 3-2. Gomez at the trading deadline was almost a New York Met as you look at the Tigers pen. They apparently had a deal, Milwaukee did, to send him to the Mets, and then it just kind of fizzled at the end, and because of that, Cespedes ended up as a Met. Right at the last minute, that deal was made between the Tigers and New York.
I'm not so sure they didn't get the better player. I know Gomez has done some special stuff in his major league career, but so has Jonas.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think it probably worked out better for him. Casimir and Fire is also coming over.
And Cespedes has been swinging the bat very well in New York. Already a couple of homers, bunch of doubles.
Swing and a miss. Gomez letting her rip, and he comes up empty.
Told you that the game plan tonight was to throw Rasmus a lot of fastballs. He fell behind him in his first time up, but he just continued to throw the fastball after fastball because the hands rest comfortably right over the heart of the plate. Rasmus can't get to the fastballs, and Verlander continues to go in there. McCann, he may not even move. He just sets up inside, and no success today on any of the fastballs thrown by Verlander to Kobe Rasmus.
Fly out pop up for Rasmus.
Kobe is now backed off the plate. You see where his hands were now?
Yep.
He's gotten off the plate. His hands weren't resting over home plate on that last fastball there. He's made an adjustment. Now we'll see what Verlander and McCann do. How about that? He's off the plate now.
One on Rasmus.
And now they're going away on Rasmus, that he's moved off the plate looking for a fastball inside.
And back in they come. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Verlander still's got a lot left in his tank. That last fastball, 95.
JB really never in trouble at any point in this game. 2-2. Rasmus now at 237, but he does have 15 homers this year.
And his bat is kind of perked up in the month of August. He's hit 281 in August with a couple homers and 6 driven in.
JV trying to dot the outside corner, couldn't get it. 3-2.
So apparently the adjustment that Rasmus made in the batter's box that I pointed out to you, Verlander and McCann have noticed that themselves. So now they're going outside with some fastballs.
You see 3-2. Rolled foul. It's the old game within a game.
Yes, indeed. And that's one other thing that you don't see a lot of hitters do these days. Guys don't move in the batter's box anymore. Once a guy establishes where he likes to hit, whether it be deep in the batter's box, whether it be up in front of the batter's box, their feet really don't move during the course of at-bats. But I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, guys moved all around the batter's box just to try to create situations where they can get themselves the best possible pitch to hit.
Swing and a miss, and Rasmus is dusted. 7 strikeouts for Verlander, 2 gone in the 7th.
Rasmus has seen only fastballs here tonight from Verlander.
96 on that last heater. Here are these 7 punch outs for JV. Here is Evan Gattis. Gattis pops it up in the air to shallow center field. Ghost coming in. And Verlander has a 1-2-3 7th. Let's go to the 8th. Still 1-0 Tigers. Some play. Justin Verlander masterful tonight. Only 3 hits allowed.
Yeah, Brad Ausmus went over to talk to Justin Verlander. Then Justin made his way back over to Brad. Justin does not want to leave the game. He tried to talk his way into staying in, but I think he's done.
It appears so. 107 pitches in this game. JV has gone as high as 117 in a start. That was against the Yankees back in June. Looks like he's done for the evening here tonight.
Well, it's going to be up to guys like Rondon and Wilson and Hardy and Albuquerque to shut it down the remainder of the way.
Wallside Windows pitching change. Josh Fields is on now for the Astros.
He's got some outstanding numbers. ERA at 2.37. The whip is under 1. 49 strikeouts, 15 walks for Fields. And he is one guy that out of that bullpen has an above average fastball.
He's got the top of the lineup to deal with: Kinsler, Iglesias, Miguel Cabrera. So Colin McHugh and Justin Verlander pretty much matching each other today. The difference, the Tigers got a run, and so far they've made it hold up. It was Kinsler that drove in the run, an RBI single in the 5th.
Yeah, you saw that last fastball thrown by Fields at 95 miles an hour. It's a cutter.
Popped up. Who wants it? Valbuena does. 1 out.
They follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. That Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your smartphone or tablet. Here's Jose Iglesias. Iglesias is 1 for 3. For as dominant as Verlander was tonight, it's still uncomfortable to know the Tigers only lead by 1. All the home runs this Astros team hits. That's in the air toward right field, hit pretty good. Rasmus on the run. They track it down at the warning track.
Kobe Rasmus is a center fielder by trade. His entire big league career has been spent playing in center field, and he's a good center fielder, but he's been pushed to the corner with Gomez now playing center field for the Astros.
Here is Cabrera with 2 outs.
Did you mention 2 quick outs?
I did not. 2 quick outs. The best kind if you're a pitcher.
Fields also has an above average curveball. Those are his 2 best pitches. That pitch right there, and then that fastball in the mid-90s.
Miggy tonight, a strikeout, a flyout, and a single in his first at bat. Got the outside corner there with a breaking ball. 0-2.
Miggy got a single his first time up today on a really good swing. He hit the other way against the starter Colin McHugh. And since that single, Miguel has gotten a steady diet of curveballs and changeups.
Fields has about 11 strikeouts per 9, a little bit over. Drilled to right center field. That'll get down, base hit. And Cabrera has a 2-out single.
Miguel not looking all that comfortable on off-speed pitches here today. And Fields, well, he got cocky out there, and he tried to overpower Miguel with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and Miggy drilled it into the gap in right center. He just tried to abuse Miggy.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Cabrera 2 out of 4 now. We'll bring up Victor Martinez. This Astros bullpen leads the American League in opponent's batting average. We've got some guys at the back end of their pen that can get it done. They certainly showcased them last night. Nishik came on. Gregerson came on. Fouled away.
I guess now the question for Brad Ausmus is somehow, some way, if Miguel's able to get himself in the scoring position, does he dare pinch run for him, knowing that they might need another run here, and they've got one of the fastest guys in baseball on their bench in Rajay Davis.
Well, I think he would, but let's see if he gets there first. Pulled on the ground right into the shift. Sprawling play by Altuve. From his knees, throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th here in Houston. 1-0 Tigers. Giving up 1 run, that's the difference. Both 7 strikeouts, both 2 walks. And they're separated by just 1 hit. So McHugh and Verlander pretty much pitch for pitch tonight. Now the Tigers go to the bullpen. Wall side windows. Pitching change. Blaine Hardy.
And Blaine Hardy's been used quite a bit this year out of that bullpen, pitching his 53rd contest, 2.52 ERA, 40 strikeouts, 18 walks. He's usually stingy with the base on balls. And Blaine Hardy has a fastball, 90, 91, 92 on occasion. He'll cut it, he'll sink it. Also a nice curveball and a changeup.
So Marwin Gonzalez will pinch hit here as we go to the 8th. Gonzalez for Valbuena. Castro due next, and then Altuve. First one is hit for a strike. Gonzalez played last night, and he executed the safety squeeze to drive in a run. He also singled and scored. He'll dart low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gonzalez. Blaine Hardy in place of Justin Verlander. 7 scoreless tonight for JV. And that streak of really good starts has reached 5 in a row now. That stretch that Verlander has been on. There's a strike call.
Hardy's been tremendous this year against left-handers. They're hitting him at a 186 clip, whereas right-handers batting 265 against Blaine Hardy. That's why Trey Hillman, who's the acting manager, pinch hit for Valbuena.
Wave and a miss, and down he goes.
Nice change piece with some nice fading action to it. It's a circle change thrown by Hardy. Actually, that was a breaking ball thrown by Blaine at 77.
That'll be 8 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight. 1 gone. There's Castro. No luck against Verlander tonight. 2 strikeouts. Two and 0 on Castro. Altuve waiting on deck. He'll get back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Only 3 hits tonight for the Houston offense, and all 3 of them have been singles. Altuve, Correa, and Valbuena before departing. Here's the 2-1. Strike call, 2-2. Tomorrow, Matt Boyd will go in the day game here to wrap up this series before the Tigers head to Chicago to take on the Cubs. The newly acquired Mike Fiers will go for the Houston Astros. Two and 2. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tiger bullpen this year has been an issue for much of the season, but Hardy has been one of the bright spots. Tiger bullpen ERA is north of 4. Trying to guard a 1-run lead. Fouled away. Wilson still lingering in the Tigers bullpen. Again, the 3-2. And it got him, strike 3. Castro punched out of there. 9 Tigers strikeouts tonight.
Both of the strikeouts by Hardy. The one of Gonzalez and the one of Castro on breaking pitches.
It's going to be it for Blaine, it appears, with Altuve coming up. Brad's going to want Wilson to come in. It's another pitching change here in Houston. We'll be back.
Balls up in the strike zone. He wanted to exploit the weakness of the over-aggressive swinging Houston Astros. And then once he got him looking up top, then he went downstairs with some outstanding breaking balls. And I mean well-located breaking balls. Then after that, he goes right back upstairs again. Just a marvelously pitched game tonight by Justin Verlander. 7 innings, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and he walked 2.
So Hardy gets a couple of outs here in the 8th, and now Alex Wilson will come out of the Tigers bullpen.
Wilson has had a very nice year. The earned run average is at 184. 43 games he's been in. This is now 44. Had to miss some time last week with a little bit of a tired shoulder, but he pitched last night. Now he's back out there again tonight.
Altuve with 2 outs. Ball 1 to Altuve.
And Wilson had about 50 family members and friends in attendance last night. I told you he's from Corpus Christi last night, but no, he's from College Station. I had him mixed up. But his wife is from the Houston area, so they've got a lot of friends here, a lot of family.
A little bit outside, 2-0 on Altuve.
College Station, that's where Texas A&M is.
The Aggies, correct, sir. Right-handers bat just .222 against Wilson. Preston Tucker waiting on deck. Altuve trying to get something started with 2 gone. He has one of their hits tonight. Only 3 hits for Houston. In there, a strike call, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 coming home. In the air toward left field. On the move, Collins. That'll retire the side. The Tiger bullpen getting the job done here in the 8th. Let's go to the 9th. first loss that happened last night. Marwin Gonzalez will stay in the game and play first base. So try and add some runs here against Chad Qualls, who comes out of the bullpen.
And Qualls pitching in his 42nd game, 9 holds this year, a .382 earned run average, and 29 strikeouts, 8 walks, only 1 earned run given up by Qualls in his last 13 outings. Qualls was a part of that 2005 championship team and was honored here today with the rest of the guys. Obviously, the rest of the guys aren't playing anymore.
No, Qualls is. This is his 12th season. Qualls was just a second-year player back in '05. He's got J.D. Martinez starting things off. And Tyler Collins and Nick Castellanos. The shift is on against J.D. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And Tigers are leading in this game 1-0, top half of the 9th inning. But man, their offense has gone stone cold in the last 5 games.
Meanwhile, Bruce Rondon warming up. He'll get back out of play. Yeah, and that is the troublesome thing. Certainly last night they managed just 1 run. Tonight 1 run as well going into the 9th. That take away that little mini comeback the Tigers had in the final game against KC. The road trip, they've been struggling to swing the bats. Strike called.
We told you that Alex Wilson, he missed some time last week with a little bit of a tired shoulder. They had to give him a few days off. But before he left.
Out. Strike 3 on Martinez.
Before Rondon, and before Wilson left, he was the closer, and then he came back. Right. Now Rondon's the closer.
Well, again, it's seizing opportunity, I guess. Rondon has been so dominant in his chances that I think Brad's leaning toward him now. Well, obviously he is. Tough night for JD. He's struck out for the 2nd time in this game. Hopefully everybody is okay with that bat flying into the seats. Tyler Collins. Collins sends a ground ball to the right side. Ball's going to have to get over there, and he just got it by a step. Gonzalez cut in front of the second baseman, but let it go. 2 gone now, and calling all Oakland University alumni, students, and fans. Get a Tigers hat in OU colors and a ticket to see the Tigers take on the Indians September 4th at 7:08 p.m. Buy a special ticket package exclusively at tigers.com/special events.
Well, you got one job to do when that ball is hit to the right side of the infield. You need to get over to first base, and Qualls barely got there ahead of the right foot there of Tyler Collins.
2 down now for Castellanos. Ball 1.
The Los Angeles Angels are in Kansas City, and Johnny Cueto, he pitched against the Angels tonight. 8 innings, 4 strikeouts. And so Cueto at it again for his new squad.
Angels getting whooped up on.
Cueto gave up 1 earned run so far to the Angels.
Well, they're down 9-1, and the Angels, if they lose tonight and the Tigers hold on here, the Tigers would be 4 out of the wild card. They do have Tampa, Texas, and Minnesota ahead of them, along with Baltimore. Here's the 1-1. Castellanos down on strike. Qualls has a 1-2-3-9. 3 outs to get. Tucker, Correa, Lowry to face Bruce Rondon in the bottom of the ninth. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by the newly redesigned 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. Well, here we go. It's the bottom of the ninth inning. Tigers holding on to a 1-0 lead, and it's the job of Bruce Rondon to hold on to the lead.
And Bruce Rondon has never entered a game trying to hold on to just a 1-run lead in the ninth inning, and he has to do it in a very hostile environment here in Houston. They have 39 wins at home, and he has to go through the heart of the lineup.
Well, Altuve made the final out of the eighth, but now he's got 2, 3, and 4. Romine in the game to play third. Preston Tucker leads it off. And it's fouled back out of play. Rondon greets him with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
And stick around. He's got a little bit more than that. He's got 100, on occasion 101.
3 hits tonight for the Houston offense. That's it. Verlander was brilliant.
This is the first time any of these Astros have ever seen Bruce Rondon.
Here's the 0-1. Rondon recorded the second save of the season Wednesday in KC, that one scoreless inning. Swing and a miss. It's 98 from Bruce. 1-2 on Tucker. Tucker is 0 for 3. Line out, fly out, strikeout. Driven deep in the air to right, way back and gone.
Well, we told you this would be his most stressful outing of his major league career, and Tucker caught up with that fastball.
That is his third home run against Tigers pitching this year. He had a pinch hit homer at Comerica early in the year. And Tucker has tied the game.
This is a fastball in the upper 90s, and it's down, and it's right in the happy zone of Tucker. He was short, he was quick, and he hit it, and he knew it was gone. He didn't even feel it hit the bat. He killed that.
They had 3 hits all night, and now Tucker leads off the 9th with a home run. Inside to Carlos Correa.
Either McCann or Jeff Jones might have to go out there just to calm Rondon down after that homer.
Correa's been on base 3 times, 2 walks and a single. Sliced foul, back out of play, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Justin Verlander will not get a win tonight. After 7 shutout innings of 3 hit ball.
And now he has to somehow keep Correa off the base paths. And Correa in 7 plate appearances has reached base safely 6 times.
Little looper into center field. Ghost on the run. Diving.
What a play.
Anthony Ghost saves a base hit. One gone.
Anthony Ghost already plays very shallow in center field. And that time he got a decent break on that ball into the outfield, hit off the bat of Correa. It comes in and makes a diving, sprawling, outstanding catch.
That'll quiet the crowd a little bit at least. Here's Jed Lowry. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Lowry. Two flyouts and a groundout tonight for their number 4 hitter. Astros get a run here in the bottom of the 9th from a home run by Tucker to tie it. Strike called, 0-2. Hardy came on for 2 outs, 2 strikeouts in the 8th. Wilson got the final out. Rondon here in the 9th, a blown save. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball right side, and it's going to find a hole. Base hit. A little bleeder that just was out of the reach of Ian Kinsler, and a single for Lowry.
This place was quiet all night until the 9th inning.
Sure was.
And Verlander kept them on their seats.
Carlos Gomez will step in. He has struck out twice tonight and popped up all 3 of those at bats against Verlander. Fouled back 0-1.
You're wondering about the base runner over at first base, Lowry. And he is not a base stealer. Only 7 of 9 in his major league career. So I would assume he's got the oven mitt on just to protect that thumb that he hurt earlier this season.
That'll get back out of play, and the count is 0-2. He's got the Rajay Davis oven mitt going there. He had torn ligaments in his thumb earlier this year, which put him on the DL. Oh, 0-2 on Carlos Gomez. Sliced foul. Tucker, signal by Lowry. One gone. 1-1 ball game. Again, the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Carlos Gomez, Colby Rasmus waiting on deck, left-handed batter. Swing and a miss. Gomez is out. 2 gone. He is fanned for the 3rd time tonight. He is really struggling in an Astros uniform.
And real nice breaking ball here thrown by Rondon. Buried down and away from Gomez.
So here's Colby Rasmus. He is 0 for 3. Strikeout, flyout, pop up. Those at bats as well against Verlander. Bouncing ball foul, 0-1.
And Rondon has thrown quite a few breaking balls after giving up the long home run to Tucker, which traveled about 420 feet. That fastball, by the way, that Rondon threw to Tucker was 100 miles an hour. Just further evidence that every now and then you got to throw a changeup or a slider just to keep guys off that fastball.
And as you said, he hit it so squarely, I'm sure he never felt it. Ugh. 0-1 on Rasmus. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers got their run back in the 5th inning. RBI single by Kinsler with 2 outs. Astros did not score until the home run by Tucker to lead off the 9th. Pulled away foul, and the count 1-2 now on Colby Rasmus. Broke his bat as well. All the way into the upper deck. So Rasmus trying to deal with the upper 90s heat of Bruce Rondon. One and 2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gaddis is waiting on deck. Rondon, a long look at the signals. He's ready now. Here's the 2-2. Popped him up, but foul. So head back into the seats. Romine giving it a look. Tigers right now trying to get this thing to the 10th inning. Romine, McCann, Ghosts due up bottom of the lineup. Check it. It would be McCann, Ghost, Kinsler. 8-9-1 in the lineup. First things first. Got to take care of Rasmus here. Here's the 2-2. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, if you don't want to walk him, that would push the winning run into scoring position with Gaddis on deck.
Lowry is going to get a head start from first base on the 3-2 pitch to Rasmus with 2 outs.
Here comes the crowd now. They've been quiet most of the night. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Rasmus is out of there, and that will end the inning. However, the home run by Preston Tucker has tied this ball game up. He takes Rondon deep. We go to the 10th. Links Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Well, we're all tied up. 1-1 is our score as we go to the 10th inning. Here is our game summary. Verlander went 7, gave up 3 hits, and it's a shame, but he will not get a win tonight. He threw 107 pitches. It was a game-tying home run in the 9th inning by Preston Tucker that brings us to the 10th. It'll be McCann, Ghost, and Kinsler, and they'll face the new pitcher. It's right-hander Luke Gregerson.
Tiger saw Gregerson last night. He's got fastballs that top out at about 90 miles an hour, whether it be the two-seamer or the cutter. He also has a changeup and a slider. He's got a lot of action on the slider and gets lots of swings and misses on that pitch.
10th inning is underway. Strike 1 on James McCann.
As a matter of fact, he throws that slider 38% of the time, and the league is hitting just .214 against that pitch.
Make a strike 2 on McCann. Strikeout, couple of grounders for James tonight. He's 1 for 7 of the series. Swing and a miss, and McCann's out of there, 1 gone.
The slider that Gregerson features got a lot of depth to it. It stays on the fastball plane until it gets right at home plate. Then the last 5 feet, it just kind of fades away from McCann, dodging the bat.
Here's Anthony Gose. Gose 0 for 2, walked, stole a base, scored a run in the 5th. Chopper to the right side. Altuve, 2 gone. 5 in a row retired, make it 6 in a row retired by the Astros bullpen. Now we'll see if Kinsler can get something started here. Better yet, just hit one out. Ian had a single to drive in a run in the 5th. It was a disputed call. Looked like Tucker made a sliding play on it in the left. He actually rolled on the baseball. They went to the replay, and the Tigers scored a run. Ground ball. And a diving, sprawling play by Altuve, who throws him out. Tigers go 1-2-3 on our way to the bottom of the 10th.
Scored came in the 5th inning. It was a base hit off the bat of Ian Kinsler, which was ruled a catch, later overturned. And Bill Miller, home plate umpire, after he made the call. A.J. Hinch came out. He was kicked out of the game, but the heroics for the Astros really started in the 9th inning. 4 straight fastballs to Tucker thrown by Rondon, the last of which was 100 miles an hour that left Tucker's bat at 108.
So we're tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Al Albuquerque is on now.
Albuquerque has pitched outstanding baseball in his last 12 outings, only giving up 1 run.
So Albuquerque will face Gaddis to lead things off here in the bottom of the 10th. Gaddis pops it up. Middle of the infield, Romine coming in. So is Martinez, who makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Thank you very much.
Now Marwin Gonzalez, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th and struck out against Hardy. Tigers tonight have gone with Hardy, Wilson, Rondon, and now Albuquerque. Farmer, Feliz, and Gorzolani remain in the Detroit bullpen. Ball 1 to Gonzalez. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for both teams tonight. Two and 0. Pat Neshek, who pitched last night, is warming up for the Astros.
Albuquerque, for the most part, when he falls behind, feels more comfortable throwing his throwing his slider to get back in the count.
And now 2 and 1. There's Castro waiting on deck. 2-2 on Gonzalez. Albuquerque facing the bottom of the Houston lineup here. If the Tigers can get this thing to the 11th, Iglesias, Cabrera, Victor Martinez. Drilled to center field. That's a base hit. A single for Marwin Gonzalez with 1 out. We'll bring up Castro. Got a new runner now at first base. Jake Marisnick will pitch run.
The Houston Astros lead the American League in stolen bases. Marisnick, the pinch runner, has 15 steals this year, so Albuquerque needs to make sure he gives McCann enough time to throw if Marisnick is going to try to steal second base here.
That is the 6th hit of the ball game now for the Astros. Tigers have 5.
It's a nice decision there by Trey Hillman, the acting manager, since A.J. Hinch was bounced from this game very early. You put a guy out there that can run, you put pressure on the pitcher, you put pressure on the catcher.
Swing and a miss.
Even if Marisnick is not even entertaining the thought of running.
Castro in this game, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. Snap throw, and they're going to get him. Marisnick was way off the bag, and James McCann picked him.
What a pick by James McCann. I don't know how in the world he was able to pick that ball out of the dirt. Marisnick thought it was going to get past him, and he got too far off the bag, and McCann came up and threw an absolute clothesline down to first base.
Well, what a huge play.
It's a second runner tonight that's been picked off for the Houston Astros. What a pick by James.
So they're empty now for Castro. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rolled foul, 1-2.
It's the second time this year that McCann has picked a runner off at first base.
Not sure what was more impressive, the throw or the actual pick of the ball out of the dirt.
They both were outstanding.
So now Albuquerque can just concentrate on the hitter here. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball right side, straight at Kinsler. That'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. 10 in the books here in Houston as we go to the 11th. We are still tied at 1.
Extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Well, we go to the 11th inning in a 1-1 ball game here. The Tigers have been out hit 6-5 in this game, and Pat Neshek will come on to throw for the Houston Astros.
And Neshek throws a sinker slider. Those are his two primary pitches. The fastball tops out at 90 miles an hour. The slider is a good pitch for him. The league hitting just 150 against that slider. He doesn't walk anybody either. He's only walked 6 batters all season, 46 strikeouts in 50 appearances.
Meanwhile, Chris Carter is the new first baseman. He'll take over down there. Neshek goes to work. Sliced out of play by Jose Iglesias. The 11th inning is underway. Tigers have some good hitters coming up here. Iglesias, Cabrera, Martinez. Jose in the ball game tonight. Single in 4 at bats. Again, same location, back out of play. 0-2 for Iglesias. First relief appearance, leads the club for the Astros. Neshek follows Gregerson, who followed Qualls, who followed Fields. So both teams going deep into their pen now as we get into the extra innings. Neshek's career began in Minnesota back in 2006. He's also been with the Padres, the Athletics, the Cardinals. Slings one outside. The count is 1-2. '71 appearances last year out of the Cardinals bullpen. And he's on his way there again this year in appearances. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball, foul. Little chopper. They're going to have to hurry. Altuve not going to get him safe. He played that as quickly as he possibly could with the bare hand, but no chance.
Iglesias gets tons of infield singles. One, he's got really good speed, and two, he gets out of that batter's box in a hurry. Omar Vizquel with the call. Safe.
Altuve just tried to shovel that ball to save some time, but he wasn't going to get him.
Well, we told you that Iglesias gets lots of infield singles, 23 of those. And it trails only Billy Burns of Oakland and Jose Altuve of this Astros team.
So here is Cabrera, who has 2 hits tonight in his second game back from the DL. Ball 1.
And both of Miguel's hits have gone in the right center field.
Dave Clark running through the signs. Miguel giving a look.
I don't know why Mickey's looking down.
I have no idea either. Unless there's a sign for hit one out of the ballpark. And there could be. Two 2-0.
And Iglesias ain't going nowhere either because he's in scoring position right now, standing on first base, just as Miguel is in that batter's box. Dave Clark coached here for the Astros for a number of years. And coached third base, coached first base. Interim manager for a little while, too.
Dave Clark with Astros background, Brad Ausmus, Gene Lamont.
I think at some point in time, Dave would welcome an opportunity to manage somewhere. Usually the next step for a guy that coaches third base.
2-0 on Miguel Cabrera. 3-0 on Miguel Cabrera. And Victor Martinez on deck.
Well, Miggy has the green light. It's just a matter of whether he feels like he's going to get something that's good enough to hit, that where he can drive the ball into one of the gaps.
Will take it, say strike. 3-1.
This is what we talk about all the time, at the fact that when Miguel is in the lineup, he lengthens the lineup. And so many times when he's standing in that batter's box, the pitcher, they don't necessarily pitch around, but Miggy has such a great eye that he doesn't leave the strike zone very often. You end up walking Miguel, and that sets the stage for Victor, JD, and the guys behind him.
And he lost him, ball 4. So the first 2 Tigers reach here in the 11th. Cabrera has a walk. And he'll bring up Victor Martinez. Victor has put the ball on the ground 3 times in this game. They will shift him to the right side of the infield.
Astros have good arms in center field and in right field. And both Rasmus and Gomez have above average arms. Tucker in left field, his arm is a tick below average. How about the shift here with a runner in scoring position?
No doubt. Doesn't matter. They do it every single time. That ball laced in the air toward left field. Hit well. And that ball's up against the wall. 1 run scores. Cabrera goes to third. He stops there. And Martinez a double. And the Tigers have the lead.
They were playing the shift on Victor Martinez. They had 3 guys on the right side of the infield. And you could tell by this swing by Victor that he was trying to hit the ball the other way. He allowed this sinker to travel deep enough. He barely almost takes it out of the catcher's glove, and you can see by that approach, that's all he was trying to do, was hit something right through the hole there where there was no shortstop, and he got rewarded with a double.
2-1, Tigers have the lead and in great shape to add some more. Miguel Cabrera is walking off the field here toward the dugout.
10th runner.
It's going to be Rajai Davis. So Rajai now represents an insurance run out there. Much more speed at third base. Infield coming in for the Astros. JD Martinez, a chance to tack on more here.
As fast as Rajai is, it might be risky to come on contact.
Well, he's going to score right now. There's a base hit to right field. Rajai comes in. Victor goes to third. And it's 3-1.
Really good at bat there by JD Martinez, who really has been struggling lately. He simply was very patient. He got himself something to hit, and he didn't try to do too much with it. Tigers playing some real nice situational baseball here in the 11th.
Victor was 0 for 3 before that RBI single.
And Rajai Davis thought that ball might have been caught by Rasmus. He went back to tag and was still able to score, but no issues.
Castro out to the mound now to talk to Neshek, who's faced 4 batters. He hadn't gotten anybody out. And this all started on an infield single off the bat of Iglesias. 3-1 Tigers lead here in the 11th. Tyler Collins, the batter, and Brent Strom coming out.
There hasn't been many days like this for Neshek this year.
More action in the bullpen. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, heating up. How about the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet? We'll wrap it up tomorrow here in Houston. The Tigers will send Matt Boyd to the hill, and Mike Fiers will go for Houston.
Yeah, Boyd 1-3 combined with Toronto and Detroit this year, 7-11 as far as the earned run average is concerned. Fiers, and his time also is split between two squads, 5-9 with a 4.03 ERA, but a lot of strikeouts for Fiers. 131 of those against 47 free passes.
So here's Collins now with the infield in. Runners at first and third, and a ball outside to Tyler.
And Victor Martinez has departed this game as well. Jeffrey Marte is the runner down at third base now.
Driven to left field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Marte will score. The Tigers just keep hitting. Collins chips in. It's an RBI single.
It's going to be it for Neshek.
And a 4-1 lead now for Houston. Neshek will not give an out or get an out here in the 11th. He will face 5 batters and depart. So Neshek is gone. We'll step aside. A pitching change now. 4-1 Tigers. They lead 4-1, and a new left-hander coming out of the bullpen now for the Astros, the veteran Tony Sipp.
And Sipp's had a nice year. 43 strikeouts in 45 games he's been in, 2.40 ERA. 7 of his inherited 25 runners have scored.
Sipp 43 strikeouts in 41 1/3, so he will go to work now against Andrew Romine with 2 on, nobody out. Romine showing bunt, bunted it foul, 0-1.
Sipp has a fastball that clocks at 91 miles an hour, average heater about 88, but he gets lots of swings and misses on his slider and also his splitter.
Romine came on defensively in the 9th inning for Castellanos, his first at bat of the ball game. Popped up the bunt. Foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Romine. Sip began his big league career with the Indians in '09. 1 season with the Diamondbacks, his 2nd year now in Houston.
And we'll see if Brad keeps the bunt on here for Andrew.
He does not, and it's bounced to the shortstop, looking like a double play. 6-3. 2 gone.
That's the same thing that Correa should have done. Was that last night or was that earlier today?
That was earlier tonight.
Earlier today, yeah.
Was it last night? It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does feel like it. Same type of play where he flipped the ball to Altuve instead of finishing the double play himself, and Altuve was not able to complete the double play.
So with 2 outs, here's McCann with a runner at third. James in search of his first hit tonight. The Astros in the bottom of the 11th will have the top of the lineup. Altuve, Tucker, and Correa. Ball 1. Kansas City completed their win over the Angels 9-4.
I bet that place was rocking again tonight with Johnny Cueto on the mound, and they probably had dreadlocks and everything in the stands.
Sip ready with the 1-0. Ball high. 2-0 the count on McCann.
Tigers still have, what, about 7 games with Kansas City Royals this year?
Yeah, they go to KC, and then they come back home to face KC in September. Sip with the 2-0. 3-0. Look at the Tigers' month of September schedule. I mean, it's almost exclusively Central Division opponents. Got a lot of Cleveland, a lot of Minnesota, Kansas City, the White Sox. They'll be within the division in September. Trying to stay within striking distance.
Well, that's where the Tigers have played their best baseball this year, within the division. They haven't been so good out.
A 4-pitch walk.
I think Ghost basically put McCann on to get to the left-handed Ghost. Sip, excuse me, didn't give McCann anything to hit.
Ghost scored the Tigers' only run prior to the 11th. He walked with 2 outs, stole a bag, and then scored on a single by Kinsler. Anthony otherwise is 0 for 3 in this game. In there for a strike, 0-1. Astros bullpen threw 3 scoreless innings after McHugh departed in the 7th, or after the 7th, but Neshek was hit around here in the 11th. Bouncer right back past Sip. Altuve will flip to Correa and will get the out anyway to end the inning. Big inning for the Tigers, though. They send 8 men to the plate and get 3 big ones to break the tie. Victor Martinez grumbling in with a double. JD followed. Then Collins. And the Tigers lead 4-1. as we go to the bottom of the 11th here in Houston, and Neftali Feliz will check in. The Detroit bullpen trying to put the finishing touches on this one.
And last time Feliz was out on the mound, it was in Kansas City. Got his first win as a Tiger.
Alex Avila will come into the ballgame now to play first base after they pinch ran for Martinez. Well, top of the order coming up for the Astros. It'll be Altuve, Tucker, and Correa here in the 11th.
Brad Ausmus has emptied all of his regulars out here tonight, hasn't he?
Well, I don't think he has anybody left. Bench is empty. High fly ball into shallow right field toward the line. JD is there. One pitch, one out.
Boy, does this Houston Astros team love to swing at the first pitch.
We'll bring up Preston Tucker, who for a moment provided the dramatics for Houston. A leadoff home run off Rondon in the bottom of the ninth to tie it. It was Tucker's 12th home run of the year. Strike one that gets right through McCann and rolls to the backstop. That home run by Tucker is only hit tonight. They play him to pull on the infield. Oh, 2.
These guys have 3 guys in their starting lineup tonight that do not use batting gloves. Tucker, Gaddis, and also Rasmus. I don't think I've ever seen a team in this generation of 9 players, and 3 of the 9 do not use batting gloves.
Here's the 0-2. Lifted back out of play. That's more of a field thing, isn't it?
Or style thing for some. Really? Absolutely. Have you seen some of these batting gloves these guys wear?
I have, yeah. But I mean, for guys that don't wear them, they just prefer the feel of
Oh,
the
yeah, I would imagine so.
Oh, 2. Feliz trying to take care of Tucker here. Correa waiting on deck. Swinging a foul tip, just barely staying alive.
Lou Whitaker, outstanding Tigers second baseman for a long time. He didn't use any batting gloves during the course of spring training. He would always hit off the machine and a lot of fastballs in spring training with no batting gloves. And the reason why Lou said he did it, he wanted to toughen up his hands. But then once the season started, he started using batting gloves.
Here's the 0-2 again. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just hanging out the scoreboard.
Old-fashioned scoreboard here.
Had nothing better to do.
Good gig if you can get it.
That's a great seat.
Watch some baseball, pull out some numbers.
Romine will throw him out, and Tucker is gone, 2 away. So it's all up to Carlos Correa now for the Astros. This will be a good win for the Tigers if they can get this final out here. Got a great outing from Justin Verlander tonight. Showed some resiliency after giving up the lead in the 9th inning.
I also think that Bruce Rondon will learn from his mistake here tonight, trying to overpower Tucker with 4 straight fastballs when Rondon's been really good lately by using the breaking balls and the changeups. Verlander was exceptional.
Really was. Brad said after that comeback win against the Royals, there's still some fight left in the dog. And they showed it again tonight. Correa fouls it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. How much do you think this Astros team right now misses Springer?
They miss him a lot. He's a really good player. Steals a lot of bases. He's really good defensively. And he's got a lot of power. So they're going to get him back in a couple of weeks. He has resumed baseball activities.
He is a multi-dimensional player and one of the fine young players in this game.
He and Correa look like they could be brothers.
No doubt. Line drive to left, base hit, and to keep it going for the Astros. Correa has a single. His second hit tonight, on base 4 times. Bring up Jed Lowry. 7th hit of the game for the Astros. Just about everything else in the American League is the final score. Texas Tampa still going on, and Texas leads that one 10-3. Runner will take second with no throw. 1 ball, no strikes on Lowry. Ken goes out to the mound. James got a lot of play on that exchange he had with Rios over there in Kansas City.
Sure did.
I thought Rios was trying to steal some signs. He went out there and just glared at him a little bit to let him know he's watching. Here's the 1-0. Drilled to center field. That's a base hit. Correa rounding third to the score, and the Astros are not going quietly here. It's an RBI single. 4-2 ball game. Lowry gets his 17th RBI. Carlos Gomez will step in now as the tying run. Rough night for Gomez. He has fanned 3 times. He is 0 for 4. Ball 1. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs. An RBI for Lowry makes it 4-2. Bouncing ball to short should do it. And Iglesias goes to second for the force, and the Tigers win in extra innings tonight.
Yeah, you brought it up. Outstanding win tonight by the ball club after they squandered the lead in the 9th inning. They come back to score a couple in the 11th, 3 to be exact, and win here in a very hostile environment.
Tigers even up this series with an 11-inning win. 4-2 your final. Back with more.